Most of the world lives life trying to get rid of anger and pain and sadness, believing that life will get better without those things. What if those things are an essential part of who we are? That maybe we have lost control a little bit. Maybe they're more exaggerated than they should be. Maybe they're not being expressed as they were intended to. But maybe they're actually good and a part of life. And so, what we need in moments of anger and sadness and pain isn't empathy, actually. Definitely not sympathy. We don't actually need other people to relate to us in the simple kind of stereotypical way that happens. What we need is to be reminded of who we are. That's it. In the pain, in the sadness, in our anger, or dealing with someone else's anger with us, what we need is to be reminded of who we are. And it's our choice and our honor and our privilege to grow who we are so that we don't react to other people's meaningless reactions, to their inability to process us as who we are, their trigger, them being triggered by us, or us being triggered by them. You don't have to live like that. Because if you know who you are, if you really know who you are, then you know you are loved. You know you are worthy of being delighted in. You know you are safe. And so you choose to spend time with people who participate in that with you, who engage in that with you, so that you know you're safe. You feel delight from them, and you delight in them, and you receive love, and you give love. That's all you need. And then the peace that exists in those painful, difficult emotions will surpass anything you can comprehend or understand. At first, you might not even know why you are okay in the midst of a situation where you wouldn't usually be okay, where you see so many other people not okay, but you are. Not because you're not hurt and not sad or not angry, but because those emotions, because you can be okay while you're angry and while you're in pain. You know you're not going to drown. You know that that doesn't shift your identity and change who you are. And so what we need to get there is for other people to tell us who we are, remind us of who we are. I think that's what parents are for. It's not to just stay out of a child's way. It's to know them deeply, to know them deeper than they can know themselves without years more experience, without years more relationships and trial and error. It's to learn them, and to know them, and to remind them who they are, so that when they come to us and say, I don't feel like myself, when they come to us and say, there's something wrong with me, I'm hurting, that it doesn't matter whether there is or isn't something wrong, health issue, an emotional trauma. What matters is that in that moment, you see them and they feel you synchronizing with them. I see you. I hear you. I'm glad to be with you, even in the pain. And we don't rush to take away the pain and rush to take away the anger and the hurt, or even rush to defend them. Maybe they need to be defended, but maybe first they need to know that they are okay and that they're not alone. Then you can go defend them. So, for PTSD Awareness Month, how can you remind someone who they are? Do you notice people around you at that level so that you can name things about them? Good things? Beautiful things? Do you look for people's hearts? Even when you don't have a reason to. Maybe you have a lot of reasons not to. But the heart of joy and appreciation is a fundamental habit of noticing other people. So how can you let someone know, remind them who they are? That they are brilliant, brave, strong. Tell them why. You can say all those words, but they don't mean anything if you don't say why. Because then you haven't really, if you can't say why, you haven't noticed. You haven't noticed who they are. I believe that all people are fundamentally good. And they just forget over time. And some people might be a long way from remembering. But maybe that could start with you.